Thing, eh?
Yep, live.
Okay, all right. Shalom, shalom. Um, First and foremost, just like to give all praises, glory, and honor due unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash, and double honors to the apostles and elders in Great Millstone that rule well and that do teach well and have taught us His truth. May Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai continue to bless you in the spirit. Okay, and shalom to the brothers that are in the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth in sincerity and not for vainglory, because that's what it's about. It's about glorifying Yahweh while Yahweh Shai.
Yes.
You know, He gave us the gift of faith, and that could easily be taken away. So we must utilize our faith in this walk of ours. All right. So
I got a precept. This is Romans 10 and 12. Let me start at 13. For whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. And how then shall they call on him in whom they have not believed? And how shall they believe in him of whom they have not heard? And how shall they hear without a preacher? And you know, we're in a time now where none of these things can be an excuse, because this is what you call the age of information. So all you gotta do is look up on the internet or on the YouTube to find out, you know, what's going on, right? Find out the truth. And it says, verse 15, and how shall they preach except they be sent, as it is written? How beautiful are the feet of them that preach the gospel of peace and bring glad tidings of good things. You know, so you got the men of the Lord bringing out glad tidings of good things, like the downfall of this kingdom, which Israel, okay, you Negroes, Latinos, North American Indians are not prospering in, no matter what you believe or what you have. It's all fake. You're dealing with the devil, okay? And then it says, verse 16, but they have not all obeyed the gospel. For Isaiah saith, Lord, who hath believed or our report? So then faith cometh by hearing.
It's funny how you tribes, you don't obey the gospel, but the gospel, when you look up the word, it's really good news. Like, how are you getting upset when the prophets are coming up telling you good news? Here it is, you're in a captivity, Micah 2 and 10. This place is polluted. It's a sore destruction. It's set up for your downfall. You know the history. You've seen your people suffer. You're doing the exact same things as your parents did back in the 60s rioting. But we're telling you of a good thing. We're telling you this place is going down. You're going to be kings and princesses and princes, but you don't want to hear that. You get upset about it. You know, it's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. But at the end of the day, it's prophecy, and you're set up to be on the left, and the men of the Lord, they're set up to be on the right.
That's right. That's right. And it says, verse 17, so then faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of Yahweh. And that was basically the point. You know, you gotta the truth has to be spoken, regardless. And the truth is only for the elect.
Right.
The elect are given that gift of faith. Right? The gift of faith is what allows the Holy Spirit to work with you, and to work with you to understand these scriptures.
Islander. Right? It looks like Islander, Jake. Fiji's.
We're
talking. Yeah, go ahead.
I got a precept.
You got it? You got it? Go ahead.
This is Revelation chapter 13 and 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
That's
right. Right?
Lots there. Hey, we're going to go into this a little bit, because what was said, what was prophesied, and what brother just brought out is that this man spends all the time to go against the truth, right? Along with our people that follow him. And this is proof. This is proof that they know the truth, but they're not of the truth. They have what the brother mentioned there is faith. They're not set up with faith. Everything is done logically for them. That's who they are. The scripture calls him Esau. It calls him the wasted away is he. Actually, Joshua, his Hebrew name, wasted away is he. That's what it means. Wasted away is he. Joshua. Okay, very, very important.
Job 21.
You got it?
Job 21?
Yeah.
This is Job chapter 21, verse 7. Wherefore do the wicked live, become old, yea, are mighty in power. Their seed is established in their sight with them.
So that's Israel asking, how come these people are
This is Job.
But Job represents Israel.
Right.
So we're asking, why are they prospering? Because the world was made for our sakes. Right? So when you say wherefore, it's like therefore the wicked. Start again, reading it, brother.
It says, wherefore do the wicked live, become old.
Like, why are they prospering? Like this guy Rothschild, Jacob Rothschild, look how old this guy is, man. Right? Just prospering, just doing all kind of wickedness. Right? Everything you do, you eat, you go outside, he's spraying with chemtrails. You think you should be safe in your house, he's blasting with Wi-Fi, man. Right? And every time you log onto your Wi-Fi, there's so much warnings about Wi-Fi what it does to you, but we're so addicted to the phone, we sleep with these things, and it's harming us. Right? So we're asking, why is this wicked keep living, man? All right, you read?
Become old, yea, are mighty in power.
Yeah, this man is mighty in power, right? Anything we need because of the curses, we're to ask this man. We don't say you know, your underwears, but if you want to buy some underwears, look go to his stores. If you want to make your own underwears, look at his textiles, or travel on his ships, right? Anything you want, you have to go to this man. To wipe your butt, right? You have to go to this man, all right? And those are the curses. But in Ezra, it says the world was made for our sakes, man. So why is this man living? All right.
This is back in Job chapter 21, verse 8. Their seed is established in their sight with them.
That's right. So they're progeny, man, right? They're offsprings, right? They come up and they get things handed down to them, right? And these people have worked a day in their life. They don't know what work is, right? Their work is mischief. All they want to do is get up and say, what kind of wicked shit can I do today? But that's what they're made to do, to be the wicked. So even though you have a so-called Edomite friend, you know in the spirit that this man is not good. He can't be good because he's made to be the wicked.
That's right, because the scripture says the wicked are estranged in the womb, right? They're estranged and they're born speaking lies. So you don't really have Edomite friends. They're all wicked. They're all wicked.
Yeah.
You may have had a friend in the world, he may have done something with you, but that was set up in the spirit for the Lord to help you out to get where you're at.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right? Especially if you're a friend of the Lord. To put his enemies to make at peace with you.
That's right. I got a quick precept.
But I'm sorry, just real quick. I just wanted to mention because the brother brought out a point. It's about their seed is established and it's about their posterity, right? Their progeny. Well, you saw what happened early this week. You had record breaking rainfall in Germany, Western Germany, and that all the land of Deutschland. Pretty much, I believe it was Belgium and Germany. And you had a lot of people with ancestral homes. When I was watching the news, you saw a lot of Edomites lose their homes. Five generations, some people were living in their homes, man, and they couldn't believe it. People were crying, people were upset. So that's this devil, man. He's gonna go down, right? He's gonna go down, but in his mind, he feels he's established. He feels like he's established. He won't lose his home. He won't lose anything. He won't lose his nationality. But there's a time coming where he's gonna be taken down violently.
Right. This is Proverbs 4 and 14. Enter not into the path of the wicked, and go not in the way of evil men. Avoid it, pass not by it, turn from it, and pass away.
So one of the paths of this evil man would be like a designer, right? You have a lot of Jakes saying, we don't want to be a clothes designer. And when you go into that lifestyle, guess what? It's all based on homosexuality.
Yeah.
All right. And then you get drawn in. You want to be a so-called actor, entertainer, right? And when you get this fear of pedophilia, right? For you to make it anywhere, it's pedophilia. Liking like his ways, start envying the oppressor, right? Telling you how to dress. You got someone to start dressing you, some tight ass jeans, ball squeezers we call them. You know what I mean? Some pointy ass shoes, some tight shirts. You know what I mean? And tell you that I'm touching you up with this is nice on you, and you know what I mean? You're playing is like I'm in football. Like I played like maybe in 2 games, and that's what coach do, man. Hey, I don't feel it, man. Like. But I was coming from Jamaica, so that was a no-no for me. Like, yo, bro, all that ass-patting stuff, man. So I'm not going back because them times homosexual wasn't as rampant as it is now.
But you know why that happens, right? Why they slap you on the ass too? Because you're a horse to them. That's what you really are. You're just a horse. You're just a beast running up and down. That's why they slap a horse on its ass to get it moving.
Especially when you Especially when you do something fantastic, right? And that was the point that the brother was making, right? Did you just knock somebody over before the last play? And now it was time for you to go, all right, see? And time to go back in. And then he want to reward you. You go, no.
Right? and then
Yes,
see how
sir.
you react to it, man.
Yeah.
Some Jake,
Yeah.
right? Hey, I don't like that, man. I'm like, oh, this is how it is, right? And next thing you know, the man in the shower talking while you're naked, taking a shower, and thinking that's okay.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You shouldn't uncover that man naked, man. In no time at all. You shouldn't look at the man, being beside the man naked. You know what I mean? Measure the manhood. You know what I mean? Because
That's true.
you might not be doing that, but next man is doing that to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, the word gym means naked.
God, gymnos.
Gymnos, right? Means naked. So this is verse 16. It says, "For they," Proverbs 4:16. "For they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall."
See, they're saying there's no rest for the wicked.
Wicked, yeah.
So that's going with the Bible, man.
That's where they got it from.
You know, these men don't sleep, man. All they do is the Bible says they want to devise mischief. Right. So when you talk about I'm tired, I'm going to bed now, he's like, yeah, you get some rest, you know. He's up, you know, storing some lines up, and what can I do to stay up and got some more destruction, man.
Man, that was just here. And
Right.
we went through the exercise just before you came, bro. Edomite came up. Oh, what country you guys from? Is that a?
He said, "This is what tradition this is.
God.
What country does it come from?"
God. Shut them to stick around and you're
Well,
your
no.
judgment.
Hold on now. So this brother told him the truth, but went above him in terms of his tone, right? Because he was speaking what country loud. So this brother went above him, and that was who told us to do that? Who told us to be above this nigga, this wicked nigga,
That's right.
that Edomite nigga, so-called Edomite nigga? Who told us to do that? And he wanted nothing. He wanted nothing to do, and he picked himself up and what? Left right away. He didn't want. He didn't. We weren't allowed to be over him. That's the point.
Yeah,
Yeah, he actually said, "Oh, for you guys."
yeah.
You said that?
Yeah, and he fanned his
What?
hand.
Yeah, he didn't want to hear it from these men.
Yeah.
Right? You got
I got it. Psalm 58:3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies.
Yeah.
And there's more. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear.
And he stopped at his ear. Like, yeah, as a prophet, like, what are you guys doing? And we told him the truth. You don't want to hear that, man. Right? He stopped his ear
Right.
and kept it moving.
That's right. That's their character. That's their characteristic. Brothers just mentioned it. That's right there at the beginning. Every Edomite that is born in the spirit, you're going to know. If you're a man of the Lord, he's going to show you, oh, that guy's going off. And that was just experience for you young men to see, right? We've dealt with this. We know certain questions. Once they ask it, we ask it back, and then they just combust, like the prophets say. They combust. He combusted right there. Every Edomite that'll come up here will be combusted if they stay long enough, because they're going to get judged. Go ahead.
Verse 17, it says, "For they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence."
Sheesh.
Wow.
Like how they put
More
pork
character.
and candies for children.
Mhm.
Like, you know, those little
What?
fuzzy peaches and anything that kids like. Yeah. They put gelatin in it and with sugar in it, right? And then you give it to the little kids. The kids are crying for, you know, and you give it to your little kid. But it comes so subtly, because it says that the serpent was the most subtle of all the beasts. So that you don't come at you with a pork, even the hairbrush will brush your hair with.
Yeah,
It has
war bristles.
War bristles.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So this man think, how can we mess people up?
Yeah.
Right?
That's how you get the waves.
Gone.
Hey, there's pork.
Kill me.
Israel's been having waves, man. Israel's been having
He
waves.
says, all right,
That's funny. That's funny.
Oh man.
Start to eat the flakes falling from your head.
God, I was gonna make a point as well. This is also why Esau profits a lot of money from war. You know, when it comes to war, because it says that, and it says, "For they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence." So Esau, this man is all about, you know, death and destruction and war.
Yeah. For you people, for you so-called Israelites out there, Israelite camps who were preaching that you don't know who Edom is, man, the Lord's gonna kill you, because first of all, you know who it is, and we're gonna break it. We're gonna go into it a little bit more in spirit and in truth, because you know you have a lot of these Israelite groups. They just started teaching, and they're pushing that they don't know who Edom is. Right? I know who I'm talking about. So because this guy came up to the camp several years back, and the elders of Gms camp dealt with them and showed them in the scriptures who it was. right? And this guy, all of a sudden now,
No, that's it. I got another. You got something?
Yeah, I still have Job.
Job, okay, right? But that's the point, though. Simply put, man, I want to go to Obadiah, but not yet. Get these ones first.
Okay, so this is back in Job chapter 21, verse 9. It says, their houses are safe from fear, neither is the rod of the Most High upon them. Right? And that's right, because the reason why they're prospering right now, these Edomites, and it looks like they'll never go down, is because the Lord is not on them like how he's on us. The curses haven't fully transitioned on these Edomites, pursuant to Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 7, because the curses are slowly but surely starting to befall upon these Edomites. You're seeing it. That's why they have a sad look on their face. They feel like things are they're not getting better. They weren't like how they were back in the roaring 50s.
Yeah.
Everything's prospering for them. They don't have us in slavery, right?
Yeah, that rod, man. You know, I would want to change the point real quick. That rod is coming, right? Pertaining to Psalms 2, I believe. Yahushua is going to rule with a rod of iron. We're going to rule with him. But anyway, go ahead, brother.
Also, real quick, Slack, I don't mean to make another point, but real quick, on top of that too, it's also Esau is our whooping stick. Esau is Jake's whooping stick. So the original plan was for Jake to be on top above everybody else, but we disobeyed the Most High, and that's also why this man is in rulership right now. And it's a short time too. It's not a long time.
Their bull gendereth and faileth not, their cow calveth and casteth not her calf. They send forth their little ones like a flock, and their children dance. They take the timbrel and the harp and rejoice at the sound of
You
the organ.
see those rave parties, man?
Yeah.
You know, jumping around all dirty and shit. I mean, dirty and
is.
sweaty. It's just, hey, you know, let's come by here and want to sex and all, you know, having a good time. You know what I mean? So the Bible is exposing them, man. How do things that Esau found out through the Bible?
Wasted away.
They spend their days in wealth and in a moment go down to the grave. YOLO, you only live once, right? That's what they push. They live a very reckless lifestyle. Like the brother just mentioned, the rave parties, but what do they do in those rave parties? They take ecstasy, drugs.
Get white boy wasted.
Right.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's literal, man.
Hey, so you don't know who's the Edomites yet? Continue, brother. We're going to a spirit
It
teller.
says they spend their days in wealth and in a moment go down to the grave. And just going back into that YOLO, if you know who Aleister Crowley is, he created all of that. He created something called, I believe, he had his own version of like the demonic Bible.
Yeah.
He created, and part of it was you only live once. Do as thou art will.
Yeah.
And just do whatever. Be a complete demon. And a lot of you tribes, you have subscribed to that lifestyle. Your top entertainers like Jay-Z, all your other degenerates of Israel that are in high positions. And it says here, verse 14, therefore they say unto the Most High, depart from us, for we desire not the knowledge of thy ways. And that's what that Edomite did, because he didn't like who it was coming from. But it was about to get serious, and plus we're young, right? We look young, so he's old. So he's like, oh, just a young nigga. You know what we're supposed to be doing right now? We're supposed to be in the world, doing drugs, playing some basketball or whatever. Maybe sleep with another man's wife. That's how they look at us. Young men.
Break dancing.
Yeah.
I have a tarp right here, break dancing. See all the crowd coming here. You know?
Yeah.
Some backflips and shit.
Yeah, it's true.
It's true.
Therefore they say unto the Most High, depart from us, for we desire not the knowledge of thy ways. And that's Esau to a T, because he denied his blessing and he denied his birthright. He didn't want to have anything to do with the Lord. And that was all following the law, because you're the firstborn, you're supposed to get the blessing. But anyways, it was set up for Jacob to get it. But this guy, he had no integrity, no regard for the firstborn right. Verse 15, what is the Almighty that we should serve him, and what profit should we have if we pray unto him? Those are those atheists. That's how they believe. We wouldn't profit without the Lord. Oh, I would believe in science. Elon Musk, what's his name? Charles Bronson, the guy of Virgin Mobile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Jake too be in that state too.
Yeah, Jake can be in that state.
They're in that
Even
state
more
too.
wicked than Esau, because the scripture declared that. Jeremiah, you know. Well, yeah, it just always goes back to their characteristics of who these people are. Who you're dealing with. They're not going to change.
What does science mean? Science from the Latin ciencia, which means to know. So when they say we believe in science, you're saying we believe in to know. So we're telling them, but they don't want to hear it.
That's right. Again, yeah, it just shows that as well as brother read at the beginning, he has no faith because it wasn't built in him, right? But he lies. He's a deceiver and tell you that he does have faith, but it's through his conscience or his false science, pseudoscience.
Precept.
Good. Yeah.
This is Job. Where at, brother?
Job 21.
Okay, so, wait, Job 15 and 20. It says, the wicked man travaileth with pain all his days, and the number of his years is hidden to the oppressor. So he doesn't know that the Most High has him set up. He thinks he's going to go on forever and ever and ever, right? So it has done him good, right? Well, there's nothing he can do about it but to stick around and hear what's up. But you can't get embraced for it, right? Rather than coming up on you suddenly, right? So he doesn't know that this is it. This is it. Like Michael Jackson's tour, his last tour was, this is it.
Yeah.
Right? This is it for so-called Edomites, man. That's so-called the Edomites.
Yeah. The writing is on the wall. It's plain as ever. And that's a code. That's a code that we use amongst the men of the great millstone. The writing is on the wall.
Yeah.
Right? We know what it is.
You got a precept?
Go ahead, bring it on.
This is Obadiah 1 and 3. Or Obadiah 3. It says, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwelleth in the cliffs of the rocks, whose habitation is high.
And get the word pride.
That saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?
Now, can the Arabs say that? You seen ISIS and all those Al Qaeda, you know, they say that what happened? Bush hit him with Operation Desert Storm, shock and awe. All this, you know, so China can't say that. I can say it and see what happens to them. So the only people can say that on the earth who can bring me down is so-called white man. So that's how you have to read between the lines. Like no nation can proudly be as proud as so-called white man because they can back shit up. Yeah. Because the earth is given to them. The blessing of the sword is given to them. All right, and most are referred to their power as teeth. Now in your mouth you got all kind of teeth. You have incisors, incisors, canine, molars. So you have different power teeth. So you have his guns. So you have a machine gun. You have a nuclear missile. You have all kind of different ranges, man. Right? So that's his teeth. Right?
That's right. That's crazy. So it says verse 4.
Yeah.
Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down.
Now I was going to say the word eagle, right? It's power, right? And it also means on top, right? Even though it's the bird that doesn't fly the highest, but it's more powerful than the birds that fly above it too. If you check it out, because I've done studies on birds. There's some
a bird of prey also.
Yeah, well, that's a bird. It's a bird of prey. Yeah, beautiful. Thank you, Tawada. That's what I want to say as well. Bird of prey, and it's got the most power when it's in the air, right? And it just has the most power because, like I said, I was going to mention there's some geese that fly higher, but that'll fuck up the geese if it's up there if they meet. And then that. Hold on, real quick. There's some eagles called condor. Last point. They're bigger than the bald eagle. But it's of the same thing, so that has to do with power, right? But anyway.
Well, an eagle can be a grown man. Like,
those condors could.
They can become a grown man, man.
10-foot wingspan.
Yeah, man.
The large one. You hear me?
That's the NBA net size from the ground up.
If you see it coming, you run. Quetzalcoatl all over.
And it says his nest among the stars. So that's your clouds, right? He's trying to put people on digital footprints. You as a live man in his clouds, man. That's on the left though. We want to go on the clouds on the right hand side. He has his cloud on the left hand side.
Satellites.
Right, satellites. Man.
That's right. Beautiful. The cloud. That's what he's working on. He's pushing his vaccines because it's really connected with the cloud. That cloud that the brothers just mentioned.
It's really going to the chip.
It's going into the chip, the MOTB.
Yep.
On verse 5, it says, if these came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen till they have enough?
So let's just use imagination, man. If say you're in the world and you're taking something, you kind of in desperation. So you don't sit around there and like, I don't want this. You're going as fast as you can to get out of there, right? But this man is just chilling, being a wicked ass thief, and he wears a nice suit and goes stealing and drink and cheers to it. Yeah, cheers, you know. And, you know what I mean? This man have no fear at all because he thinks he's God. Right? He's like himself unto the Most High.
And that's the and that's the difference between Israel and Esau. Because Esau is the wicked, and Israel can be wicked. You know, because what he's explaining, that's just like a guy who's taking his time while he's robbing your house. That guy's wicked. He's real wicked. He doesn't care.
Super wicked. Right? Man's gangster.
Yeah, you know, sitting there looking nice too. You know, says in the middle of verse 5, would they not have stolen till they had enough? If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes? How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up?
Through the Bible, man. All right, the Most High has to like rise you up and give you the insight, man. Give it that the Kadash, the Holy Spirit. All right, it says John 6:63, it is the spirit that quickeneth. So it's the spirit of the Most High that made you alive to get this truth, man, to understand what's happening. Because people of the world say, nah, man, you know, I know you did some bad white one, but they can't all be bad. The Bible says not one of them are good. You know what I mean? So this is how we find out. You come to the prophets, and the Most High, as open your mind, is he always supping with you and give you the insights, man. Give it a dealio.
Come on. John 6:63.
Come on.
It is the spirit that quickeneth.
What spirit? The Holy Spirit, man. Right? The word quickeneth is going to alive. Right? It makes you alive. Right. All right.
The flesh profited nothing.
So without this truth, you're just out there like dead. Right? Apocalypse, man. In Spanish, Revelation is apocalypto. Right? So the revealing. So now we're in dead state, so we're in a day of the living dead. But we're living, but once we're dead. Right? And we came alive through the quickening spirit, man.
Right.
Precept to back that up. This is Revelation chapter 12, verse 16. And the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed the blood which the dragon cast out of his mouth. That goes into the lies and deception that this guy used against us. He lied and said that we were not the chosen, he was the chosen. And that earth represents the archaeology, which are the ancient icons. The internet itself, that's what we use. So it is.
Okay, so it says, I'll read it again, Obadiah 6. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee.
All of those nations, man, they were cool with America. That's right. Now they're saying, no, we want to rule. Right? Every nation is saying, no, I'm not scared of you anymore, man. But at one point, you had all the guns. But I said, we got guns too. You know? Do something.
I think it was Turkey. Maybe it was Turkey, but they were going through something, and they asked America to lift the sanctions so that they can get their economy going again and all that. And America didn't do that, so they got aid from Russia. So you can see that, and I think before Turkey and America were in good standing. Good standing. So now you see Turkey's like, yo, fuck these guys. They're gonna go side with the number one enemy. Because Russia's it's gonna be a battle between Russia and America. Then other nations are gonna get involved.
Russia is another Edomite nation too. So they don't Edom, man. They're split.
Hey, the pride of thy heart is the
God, man.
It says,
yeah, but he knows.
Verse 7. Right? He says middle of verse 7. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is, because a lot of these nations are what? Eating the bread. So a lot of these nations are now cutting the US dollar away from their currency, away from their system. Right? Because they were going off that bread, going off that money, and now they're cutting it off.
Basically.
And it says,
Yeah, because the scripture says how they committed fornication was a whore.
yeah.
So that means,
And I think it was 23 countries too that did that.
and now they're gonna leave, right?
Yeah.
That's why I said if there's any bombs,
Yeah, you just confused him. But he knows.
there's no
Yeah.
bombs. Everybody's gonna
Bring it
leave
up,
and go
bring it
back
up.
home.
Bring it up.
Jeremiah 30. I don't know
I think it's Revelation.
about bomb hurricanes.
Oh,
That's
no.
Jeremiah, I think,
Jeremiah.
or Isaiah. He would just observe. He never really say nothing.
He would have healed Babylon.
Hey, get that word pride, brother,
Yeah, that's
because
Jeremiah 51.
I have it.
yeah, bring out that word pride because it says from what the brother read in Obadiah, it goes back to his pride. That was his downfall. I just want to touch on that and then go to the precept. Go ahead, brother.
Okay, pride, unreasonable self-esteem, especially as one of the deadly sins, haughtiness, overbearing
Jeremiah
treatment of
2.
others,
Yeah.
pomp, love of display,
Mm-hmm.
be proud, indulge in self-esteem, be arrogant, haughty, a feeling of self-esteem, self-respect, and personal worth.
Hey, that's the characteristics of these Edomites.
Yeah.
If Jake gets that spirit, right, then you know, right, that's coming from the left hand side.
Yeah.
Right, but Esau, this is who he just described this person.
Does have personal esteem?
It was a feeling of self-respect and personal worth.
Yeah, and what does Job say? That he wouldn't even put them beside his dogs.
Sheesh.
So the pride of their heart deceived you. You ain't shit. You're
Mhm.
worthless.
This is Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 7. Babylon has been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad.
Yeah.
Your brothers, what's the wine they're talking about in that scripture?
The customs or influence.
Yeah, so it would be just
Doctrines.
doctrine, philosophy,
Ideology.
customs, same thing. Because what you just mentioned about customs, the customs of the heathen are vain. Going back to Jeremiah, I believe it is 10 and 2 and 5.
Well, I'm just gonna make a point. A lot of these women from the Middle East, when they come over here, they change everything about themselves. They've been drinking up that wine, watching TV. Even some countries, they ban certain parts of social media, like no Instagram, no Facebook, because they're trying to get away from that wine. Because all that comes from America.
Yeah.
That's the Mecca.
Wine is powerful because even the people who pretend like they don't change, they change. These Muslims come, they might wear the garb, but there are demons inside their homes.
Yeah, tongue underneath the garb.
Well, I didn't want to say it like that, but the point is, read the scripture again about that wine, because that wine, right, those philosophies, those ways of life, it's embodied into everything that you do in Babylon.
Yeah.
Right? And it's what ultimately turns into slavery.
Yeah. And these guys will do culture
they change.
Yeah. So I trained someone and he had his hair from he was 25, and you know how they don't cut their hair.
Yeah, see,
they don't cut their hair. I think he's 25, 26. He's been here for 3 years. And the first day I picked him as a client, I think 2 weeks later, he cut his hair short. Short, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, what made you decide to do that? He's just like, in my country is too much of this. Like, we're trying to control you, trying to make you do this. So over here, they believe in a false sense of freedom.
Yeah.
Because over there, because in the Middle East, a lot of those guys keep a lot of our laws. That's a worldwide thing. Like women, the freedom over there, they don't got that over there. But they're starting to get that now, because that wine is being spread out fully. Well, it already has, but you know what I mean?
They call it democracy, right?
Yeah.
And when you put the word democracy, you get the rule of demons, right?
Yeah,
So that's what they want to be ruled by demons. And these are the biggest demon on the planet Earth.
It's crazy.
It says Babylon has been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand and made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad. So they're mad about it. They're crazy, upset. That's why there's riots all over the world.
Yeah. And these men too, the men from there, when they come over here, they got all these cases on them. Because a woman, like they might put their hands on a woman, they start jumps on
Oh
that.
shit! There was one I posted. and it was in America. I think it was a guy from Sudan or whatever.
Yeah.
He was in his house and his wife was misbehaving. She called the police, and then he was in the basement and he went back inside. The police were trying to tell him what to do. He's like, he wasn't listening to him.
Yeah.
'Cause you can't tell a man,
Yeah.
you know, what to do in his own house.
Yeah,
You can't do that. So he went in his basement and then he came out with 2 knives. They shot the fuck out of him. He was coming after them, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen another video.
It was
like
on
that.
police activity.
Okay.
Like, you know, when they have the body cam, so you see
Oh, so
everything.
you see everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
I love watching those, man, because it just shows you the raw footage. It's not like you're just hearing the story and then you gotta put it together in your head. You see the footage and you're like, fuck, you know.
Okay, verse 8. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her? Take balm for her pain. If so, be she may be healed.
Yeah, there's no balm for America's pain, right? Because prophecy.
Yeah.
Right. The Most High. The scripture says the Most High transfers kingdoms. Roughly paraphrased.
Yeah.
So the Most High gave Esau this kingdom, and the Most High is going to take away the kingdom, and Yahweh Shah is going to take all the kingdoms for himself. You know. So there is no way to reset this society or to come back to so-called normal. It's done.
Yeah.
You know.
Even though that they have
scripture?
these councils with the G20 summits and negotiation of transferring over resources and stuff, it's gone bad from worse. Because was it January? One of the negotiators for America was talking with the Chinese. The Chinese is like we don't want nothing from you. Like, we're just gonna sell you the stuff, but you don't really have a good business plan over the years because we're a superpower. That's what the guy boasted in the Chinese, and they're like translating in English, and it's just like, you guys are finished.
Yeah.
All right, verse 9. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go every one into his own country, for her judgment reaches unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. That's it.
Yeah, you know what? That's that because it says that judgment has reached up to heaven. There's another scripture that says, her sins have reached up to heaven. And then you think like, okay, that just basically means you can imagine all the things Esau has done. But if the judgment has reached up onto heaven, that means that what the Most High is coming down with Yahweh Shai, right? It's only your imagination can help you in that.
Well,
Different
yeah,
level.
yeah, different level.
Yeah, it's a different level. Yeah.
Super Saiyan level, like high level.
Well, the prophets are making their prayers known, right? So the prayers actually reach the Most High right now, right? We're telling on these stuff because at one point he was telling pure lies, and Most High was listening to us, but now we're repented of that. The Most actually hearing our prayers now. Our prayers is all complaining about what he said is not here, man. Right?
Real quick, bring that word out, mad, because it started, the nations are mad. So that's what those philosophies do. The democracy, all that stuff. This is the actual word, the breakdown of it. Go ahead, brother. Mad.
Bring it up.
Mad. Disordered in intellect, demented, crazy, insane.
Yeah, man.
Hey, let me tell you something real quick. Hey, when these people come up to you, you're dealing with a madman, right? The difference is between us and them. The scripture says what? Oppression. They're oppressing us, right? That makes us mad, right? But we stay in righteousness. But their minds are fucking gone. You're dealing with people who are not right. So that's why we must stay in the spirit. We're going to deal with these people. Or else that spirit will jump on you. So
remember, Esau's the serpent, right?
There you go, brother.
He's the real serpent, man.
Well,
like from Genesis, right?
Yeah. Well, how much movies they make on the serpent, right?
Well,
Venom, right? It comes on you and you turn into a madman, demon.
Yeah.
But anyway, brother, go ahead.
Psalms 75. But God is the judge. He putteth down one and setteth up another. For in the hand of the Lord there is a cup, and the wine is red. It is full of mixture, and he pours out the same, but the dregs thereof. But he poureth out the same, but the dregs thereof, all the wicked of the earth shall wring them out and drink them.
You know what dregs are? Dregs. Dregs is, like when you make like some juice, like in the Caribbean, you make lemonade and sugar. Sugar's really dirty. So you mix it now, is like dirt from the sugar is residue. I say you drink it, you kind of cough. You want to like put your throat. So it's mostly using like you think it's analog and metaphors. So metaphors to show you that basically you're gonna choke on what is it they're doing. You're gonna drink to the dregs, man. Usually you throw the dregs out, but it doesn't make them drink it.
They're gonna drink the full cup of slavery, every fucking thing that we accomplish, everything that happened to us. They're gonna be double. Most are gonna give them double or more than double. You know,
you mean walking by and you see it might just swing on the tree, triple, right? Yeah, there's a song called "Strange Fruit," swinging on trees, man. So you'd be walking by and somebody might swinging. Like normal.
Every
fucking.
It was normal because even the Mexicans got hanged. And then some, I believe, I can't remember if it was Italians or whatever. I gotta find that document. Yeah, they got lynched too, man. So it was mostly Jake,
the Irish,
and Jake women. Yeah, Irish. Yeah, they got hanged, man. It was all, you know, we're that cursed people, man. Right? Because we broke the law, so the Most High jacked us up, man. Right?
Says, for in the hand of the Lord there is a cup, and the wine is red. It is full of mixture, and he poured out the same.
But confusion. Make sure it's confusion, man. The wine is a spirit of madness.
Right? And the red wine is the red man. No?
Absolutely.
The red man.
Yeah.
And the wine is red. It is full of mixture, and he poured out the same, but the dregs thereof, all the wicked of the earth shall wring them out and drink them. But I will declare forever. I will sing praise to the power of Jacob, and the horn of the wicked also will I cut off, but the horn of the righteous shall be exalted.
And the word horn just means the power, man. So there'll be no more white power. No more of that, man.
No white power, no black power.
Israelite power. And their power is Yahweh Shemiah.
That's right.
That's right. Quick precept. This is Job 20 and 15. He hath swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up again. Yahweh shall cast them out of his belly. You know, going back to the dregs. Right, because it makes you cough. So Esau's going to cough up and puke out all the things he stole. Because remember, according to Genesis, you know, Esau, going back from Cain, he's a vagabond and a fugitive. So everything that's his is stolen. So-called his is stolen. And he has nothing.
Even like the queen and stuff, she has a bunch of gold, you know, but the Most High is going to hoard it up for us, you know.
Yeah.
You know.
That's right.
You have all these stuff stolen property, so it's going to be transferred onto the rightful owners.
That's right.
The real jewels, you know.
That's right.
Real people, you know.
This is Job 27, verse 13. This is the portion of a wicked man with the Most High, and the heritage of oppressors, which they shall receive of the Almighty. If his children be multiplied, it is for the sword, and his offspring shall not be satisfied with bread. Those that remain of him shall be buried in death, and his widows shall not weep.
Right.
All the women are going to be listening to Jake, man. But they're going to get old and die off. You know what I mean? So eventually, because they can't bring back seed, so we don't be worried about them because they're not a threat to us. So eventually, and in the kingdom, you won't see them as attractive men. Now, because it's their rulership, the woman looks good. I say, oh, I want to eat my kingdom. You won't want in the kingdom. They look like shit. Like our girls look like shit now. They don't look like shit. So you don't even want one.
Sure.
You're gonna be like, what do you call them? What do you call those
bed wenches?
Yeah, the bed wench. The bed wench.
We still don't want one. You see, Issa don't want a woman right now unless she's like so-called light skin or like look good. Damn, what you doing with him? Right? So the exceptional one, but you know, like the odd case Edomite that looks kind of okay. You know what I mean? But you don't want our own woman. You want a nice northern tribe, even Judah woman, right? Because what's her name? Judith.
Yeah, Judith.
Judith. Oh, she was bomb. Yeah. Right? So you want all Judith, man.
Yeah. Have a scripture?
Those that remain, those that remain of him shall be buried in death, and his widows shall not weep. Though he heap up silver as the dust, and prepare raiment as the clay, he may prepare it, but the just shall put it on, and the innocent shall divide the silver. Going into your point about the gold and all that.
You know that we like to shine too, man. Like we like our jewels and shit. You know, like Esau doesn't know nothing about jewels, man. Esau just a fucking doesn't have no salt, no flavor, man. Like,
Yeah, he's a base man. Like
Yeah.
scriptures proposed to him.
yeah.
Right? Man of the field.
You still have more?
No, I'm done.
You still, there's more?
No, I'm done.
Okay, that's heavy, man. Like you could read that one again.
Okay.
Yeah, that's serious.
Verse 15, it says, those that remain of him shall be buried in death, and his widow shall not weep. Though he heap up silver as the dust, and prepare raiment as the clay, he may prepare it, but the just shall put it on, and the innocent shall divide the silver.
Yeah, that's right. Which is
ours.
everything is going to be transferred to the righteous.
Right.
Transfer back.
Yeah, transfer back. This scripture for that. Go ahead, brother.
Of Lamentations 4, verse 21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of
Yeah,
Uz.
that's the word Edom there. So David Lane, you know, or David Sin, whatever you want to call yourself, you know, it's referring. Oh, you never seen the Edomite? Well, it's right in the scriptures.
You should change your name.
I thought you were spiritual, so you never seen an Edomite, but the Bible says it mentions an Edomite.
That's right.
It mentions it. Read it again.
You have to change your name, David. Change your name, man. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwelleth in the land of Uz.
So the daughter of Edom, huh? Right? So that's referring to the nation of Edom, right? The sons, all right, that begot of Esau, which was later changed to Edom, which means Edomite, or in the English refers to as being red. So who's a red person around here, or pinkish? It's obviously the so-called white man. That's why he had to call himself so-called white, because they tried to hide the identity that is revealed in the Bible. All right, and their own people tell on him. The book, Who is Esau Edom? Arthur Koestler's The 13th Tribe. All right, and many other books that are coming out to this day.
Yep, that's why I even read in the Ben Yehudi, you look at red, you look at the Hebrew, means like other one, means the red earth.
That's right.
So Esau of the red earth.
That's right.
You know, like we're of the ground. You know, that dark,
Adama.
that dark, you know, like fertile soul. I mean,
Soil. Yeah, absolutely.
It said, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwelleth in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken, and shall make
and it
thyself
says that they
naked.
dwell in the land of Uz, and that's a buzzword for America.
The daughter of Babylon.
That's right.
Right.
Hey, Khan, if I also, it said you shall be drunken.
Drunken.
What else?
I still got. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwelleth in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken, and shalt make thyself naked.
That's right. Because when you're drunk, you let loose. You tell all your deep secrets and all that. You wake up like, yo, what the hell? And this person knows this about you. This person knows that about you. Well, Esau is drunk, man. He has no control over his kingdom.
Yep.
You got Esau telling on Esau. Like I'll go watch some. Sometimes I'll go watch some things. Esau goes into it. These other Edomites, they go into history.
Yep.
You know, and all that kind of stuff. But that's what it is. You know, Esau's nation, Esau's kingdom is drunk on that wine, and everything that they are and have done is being made, public.
Yep.
Thus, he's wasted.
Yeah.
Because that's his name. That's what
Wasted.
Ashashawa means in Hebrew. Wasted away is he. So ultimately, that you're dealing with a madman.
Yeah. Because
Mad
like
Max.
in college, like in the world, they'll say white boy wasted, and that white boy, he's crazy.
God.
He's just wild. And that's what they mean by that. White boy wasted, and he's an Edomite. So that's nomen
Wasted
omen.
away is he.
Yeah.
Wasted the way he is. Yeah.
That's
The
right.
writings on
Hey,
the wall, man.
That David Lynn, Ishashua, wasted away is he. He is Edom.
Yep.
Daughter of the daughter of Babylon is his home,
All these
And he's the
Edomites.
daughter of.
Change
daughter-
your first
Yeah,
name, please.
go ahead, brother.
Yeah, man. Change that first. Yeah, David. Change that name, man. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more
So
carry.
brother was saying earlier that the curses are being transferred off
Slowly but surely.
Slowly but surely. So
Yeah.
that's what the scripture's telling us right there.
Quick precept back up, this is Deuteronomy 30:7. And the Lord thy God, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee.
That's right.
That's right.
That's it.
That's right. Lamentations 4, verse 22. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity.
This is our last captivity, man. There's no more slavery for us after this.
That's why it's good news.
man.
Free.
That's why it's good news.
Free at
That's
last.
why it's good news.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
the gospel.
Shouldn't be mad about this.
Said, he will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins.
And the wages of sin is what? Death. So when the Lord has discovered your sin, that's why Isaiah 63 comes in, right? And Yahushua comes back and can put you Edomites to death, man.
Yeah.
But first you got to do your slavery. Right? Because they go, kill me now. No. You got to do your 1,000-year slavery first, man. And we kill you at work. You know what I mean?
Remember, Esau slaughtered us and raped us and fucked up our people, man.
Fun.
You know, like for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
It's a slaughter, like it's crazy, man.
Yeah, because the Lord's he's gonna just get rid of the waste youths of Esau, which is the ones that are over here in America, that've been, getting the droplets from the fat ones on top, right? So the these ones that are over here, they're living good, doing this and that. They don't have capability of what Elon Musk said. He said about how when World War III comes, he wants to go to the moon.
Go there.
This is what he said. One of the brothers in under the Apostle Elders, he brought out GMS Watchman brought out the statement that he said. Right? So these guys know the scriptures. Why would they want to do that right now? Out of all time.
You could go up there, but
Yeah.
you know what's gonna happen.
Does he have his COVID passport?
Got a precept? This is Job 20:7. Yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? He shall fly away as a dream, and shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of night. So it's going to be like a bad dream.
Yeah.
This guy.
No more white people.
Yeah.
So-called.
Red people.
Yeah, they're going to be taken out of power because they're not going to be roaming the whole earth, even when we have them in captivity. They're going to be doing, what was that show called again with the guy, the Dirty Jobs or whatever? you guys remember watching that? The Dirty Jobs? Yeah.
The dirty job.
Yeah, these dirty jobs, right? Shoveling the shit.
I really don't want to do this.
Like all some of our horses. Yeah, because we're gonna have wally for horses,
Yeah.
wally for cattle. You're gonna take up that shit, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do all of them.
Dead
Back
bodies.
breaking.
He has a lot of work.
Yeah.
You have to, a lot of
Yeah,
work.
because Esau is immune to certain viruses that a lot of brothers don't know. This guy's a filthy guy.
It's just like the pig.
Yeah.
The red
So-
earth.
So he's gonna have to do these dirty jobs, man. And
Yeah.
clean their back. He's destroyed the earth, but he's gonna have to do the cleaning process, right? Picking up the dead bodies and putting them away. That's which is gonna be the first employment, and then everything else is gonna follow suit after that,
That's right.
and then rebuilding, right?
Right.
It's gonna be destroying, right, and then rebuilding.
The eye also which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place any more behold him.
That's right.
So he's not gonna have a place of rulership in the earth, right? Because the Lord said He's coming to destroy this image, man. That's upheld in this earth, man. This filthy ass image, right? But this is prophecy that a lot of these David Lynn guys don't understand.
That's right. Got a precept. This is First Maccabees 1:7. So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died, and his servants bare rule.
And this is one of the first rulers of the Edomites. Alexander the Greek, or the Great, you want to call him. He's the image, man, a part of the image, the brass image, which was the Grecian Empire, right? Which is in Daniel, the 2nd chapter and the 39th verse. It talks about it. So I'll read it. It says here, 2 and 39, and another third kingdom of brass, which shall bear rule over all the earth. And this is what happened during this time. I'll continue.
Even that movie Alexander too is a good movie, man.
Yeah.
She exposed you.
It was like a 3-4 hour movie.
Yeah, good movie.
And when he came into power, real quick, the evil multiplied. When you dirty Edomites came, evil multiplied. It says in the Apocrypha. Go ahead.
I'm gonna read. I'm gonna go back a couple of verses to get the history you talked about real quick to get to my point. Verse 1, it says, and it happened after that Alexander, the son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, and reigned in his stead.
And this was the Persians. So going back to the image again, which is history, which is the silver part of the image, which was the Persians, which today they call them Iranians.
That's right. Or the Armenians.
Yeah.
I think they got their name changed to what they are now.
Well, who do you think changed your name?
Esau did. They went to Esau, actually, didn't they? Yeah, something like that.
It was Persia.
Turn everything either Greek or Latin.
Yeah. Verse 2, it says, and made many wars and won many strongholds and slew the kings of the earth and went through to the ends of the earth and took spoils from many nations, in so much that the earth was quiet before him. Whereupon he was exalted and his heart was lifted up. So the Most High was with Alexander.
Yep.
There's
even a but we don't have the I'm just gonna briefly paraphrase what the elders have said, but in what's the Josephus, it talks a little bit about him going before. He had an image. Oh no, he had a vision, and he went before one of the Levite priests, right? And then he bowed before the Levite priests, and he had mercy on the nation of Israel, because they showed him that he was on to rule, and they explained the vision that he had. So our people are to be extolled up here, man. But our people, they're doing wickedness right now. Right.
It says, so starting down to verse 7, it says, so Alexander reigned 12 years, then died, and his servants bare rule, every one in his place. And after his death,
which were the 4 generals.
Yes.
That Cassandra, Ptolemy, Seleucus, and Seleucus. Yes. Seleucus. I believe it starts with a D. I believe the actual term is the Diadochean Wars. And they were fighting for power in that kingdom. But then they end up splitting into 4 kingdoms.
They were fighting each other. Verse 9, it says, and after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years. And evils were multiplied in the earth. So things got worse after that.
That's
worse
right.
and worse. And you said earlier that Alexander is Edomite.
Yeah.
Right? Now, when you go back to Genesis, the Most High put that mark on Cain, and that mark so that, he can say that they know that he's wicked. Now, he said to the Lord that, this is too much for them to bear. Red, the color red is a color for an alarm. It's a warning. So if you look at me like this, these Edomites spread, and now the whole earth is in campus with them.
Right.
So in the kingdom, we're not going to see that. That's we're not gonna see that. Everybody's actually made from the ground.
Gonna get those dirt. You're gonna get that red dirt fucking
Yeah.
out of the earth.
Yeah.
In that time. After that 1,000 years.
Some bring the poor names of the generals.
You might see white women, like, you know, but that's under Jake's rule. That's just about it. But Esau is gonna be getting dirty jobs, you know. But you're gonna know who's who. You're gonna be pointing. We're gonna break down to the nations in the kingdom. You're Elam, you know, I Elam, and you know, so and so. We're gonna break it down. It's all gonna be you know, everything's gonna be in order.
That's right. So the four generals on the ruled after Alexander died was Ptolemy, Seleucus, Cassander, Antigonus.
Antigonus, not Lason. Not Lason. That's the
No.
wrong one. I got confused, man.
No, I think they probably changed it around. Let us see it again.
'Cause I remember
That's not
studying-
so, huh?
I remember studying it was it started with an L, one of them. Because I remember we did the
Lacenaeus?
test.
Blasphemous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, the history is deep, man. It's like a rabbit hole. Like it's deep.
Mhm.
You know, you have to always be
But
into history.
and
right?
even in that,
Yeah.
his four generals, really his top general was Cletus Melanus,
He's a black man.
which was Jake. Jake was in that
Course.
Greek Empire. Even I think Homer was around that time too, or a little bit after that period of
He's a philosopher too.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. That's
which Jake, part of seven sages and stuff.
I think
So-
he threw him with a spear for joking around with him.
Mhm.
They took his lance and threw it in his chest, and he was so saddened by it because like the Greek had like an ego problem, and Jake was going to joke with him.
Yeah.
And he threw his lantern. And he's like, "Oh man, I'm sorry," you know, but he just lost it. And
Yeah.
he killed Jake.
Yeah, that's prophetic.
Because he saved his Alexander's life a few times
Yeah, I love
in
that,
battle.
Yeah.
Evil multiplied when these fuckers
That was his
came
top
into power.
general.
When these fuckers came into power, they're Edomites, but the top person was a Jake, and you people heard the story, and that's history, which is the prophecy end of it is playing out in terms of his wickedness. These Edomites.
Even if you watch
good.
that movie, The Gladiator 2, it's the same thing, right?
Yeah.
He was a black Israelite general,
Yeah.
you know, who helped.
Yeah,
you
which
know.
was based off of Septimius Severus,
Okay.
right? 7, meaning to cut, and Severus meaning to cut.
Quick precept. This is Genesis 27, and I'll start at 35. It says, "And he said, Thy brother came with subtlety, and had taken away thy blessing. And he said, Is not he rightly named Jacob? For he hath supplanted me these 2 times. He took," and there goes Esau, right, being an accuser of the brethren, when it was his decision that he made to take that porridge and sell his birthright. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he hath taken away my blessing. And he said, Hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, Behold, I have made him thy Lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants, and with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? You know, jump down to 39. And Isaac, his father, answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and the dew of heaven from above. And by the sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have dominion, and thou shalt break his yoke from thy neck.
So that's in the Renaissance time when Esau came back into power. He broke the yoke off his neck because we had him in subjection, man. And at one point, then King David, King Saul for 40 years, King David in 40 years, King Solomon. So we had the world in somewhat peace.
Yeah, 40 years of destroying and breaking down nations, and then 40 years of building back up.
And it says, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing.
See, not because you're black, man. Because I'm black. No, because of the blessing. Right. So if Jake was in his Bible, he would know that He doesn't care about your skin color. He actually likes your skin color. That's why he goes in the sun, try to tan and try to get it back. But he can't get it back, man. So he tell you it's ugly, right? The fox can get a grape. He said it's sour.
Shit. And it says, and unto Isaac, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand.
It was Jacob's father, man. Kabash Shai, so he received the spirit. Isaac came back as Yahushua.
The Alpha and Omega,
Right.
Adam. You know,
Right.
he came back as he came in like many different times, right? Melchizedek, you know, Abraham.
Solomon.
Isaac, Solomon.
And it says, and Esau in his heart, the days of the mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. And these words of Esau, her elder son, were told to Rebekah, and she sent and called unto Jacob her younger son, and said unto him, behold, thy brother, as touching thee, doeth comfort himself, purposing to kill thee.
Right.
That's heavy.
You also black woman say, stay out of trouble. Don't do this to him, master. You know? Because like she knew that spirit is on her from them times. Like, be careful. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Don't be a fool boy.
Your mom will do that, yo. Like when you're young, you hang out with all these white boys. Your mom's like, yo, be careful, man. You don't stop hanging out with these white kids.
She loved Jacob, but she didn't really like Esau. That was her son, but she didn't like Esau. It's true. You know, she loved Jacob. You know?
Well, Jake's the mama's boy, right?
Yeah.
And Esau loves his dad. Ask Esau what he's doing this weekend. Oh, me and my dad going fishing.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, my man and dad going hunting. It's always him and his dad.
Yeah,
All right. That's
true.
That's right.
That was it on that.
I have a precept. Hebrews 12 verse 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Shashua or Esau.
Yeah, wasted away easy.
Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. For ye know how that afterwards, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected.
So he was supposed to get the promises, but it wasn't, or he wasn't. He was tested. At that point, he was tested, but he failed miserably. Man sold his birthright for an uncooked savory meal.
It's the same man in Cain, the same thing.
Because he sacrificed fruits before the Most High and was like, I'm keeping the first of my flock to myself. I don't care about what Most High has to say. I'm keeping the fat for myself, and I'm gonna burn vegetables before the Most High. And he think like, but that's all he thinks. Because remember, he's a base man.
Hey, look, he has the vegan program pushing hard. I've been doing it all my life. I've been hearing about it.
Yeah.
So you can't tell me anything about it. But that's the same spirit from Esau.
Same
demonstrating, right? He's telling you that whatever the Lord set up, right? It's not as good as what I'm going to do because it's who I am, right? But the scripture says the deceived and the deceiver are his. The Lord deceived you, right, based on your pride, but it's really your character that the Most High is exposing. That's what we're going into. So I don't know how you can miss this Edomite, right? When the Greeks came into power, the whole world came upside down, right? And the Lord prophesied that, right?
David's an idiot because the Most High put a mark on it so that we would know who this devil is.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's a completely different color than every other nation. What do you mean we're the Edomites?
And it starts with his spirit.
What do you mean?
And it starts with his spirit
Yeah.
and his pride.
Even the Zondervan Bible Dictionary, it has like a lot of history about Esau.
Yeah.
Let's get that. You know, I have it. Anybody has it? It says
he was a sellout too. You gotta mention that because he sold his birthright.
Yeah.
So he sold out, and it said for a morsel of meat, which is a small portion. So he sold out for nothing, and that's what people.
Which is a meal.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Because I looked it up. It said a bite, a mouthful, a small piece of food, a fragment. That's what he sold out for.
It's double.
Wow. Hey, well, it makes
Some
sense.
stew, some proper, some stew peas or something,
Right.
proper stew,
You don't take
Yeah.
nice, you know what I mean? Some
Do it
peppers in
nice.
it, some scattered peppers in it.
Yeah.
Yo, you say, you good?
Yeah.
I'm locking it.
No, I love stew, I love my stew.
Hey, that was the
I'm
inside
locking, man.
stuff. That's all good.
I got you, Esau.
Yeah, you got it.
But he wants to give us the crumbs. Nothing but the
I
crumbs.
got it
Go ahead,
still.
brother. You got it? Bring it up.
Yeah.
No, bring that out, man.
This is Zondervan Bible Dictionary.
It's the milk. We got to go back to
This
the
is
milk
Edom.
Oh,
and
and,
build,
This is Edom. I'll read the first part and then jump to the
the
other
end.
paragraph.
To the end,
Edomites says red. The nations and its people who were descendants of Esau, he founded the country, so his name is equated with Edom, which is Genesis 25 and 30 and 36, 1 and 8. Now I'm going to jump down to the first, fourth paragraph here. Edom figures prominently in the prophetic scriptures as the scene of great future judgments. See notable, which we always go to.
great future judgment. So what's that David Lynn guy talking about, man? The Esau's are still here.
Yeah.
The damn Edomites are still here.
Yep. Isaiah 34, verse 5 and 6, 63 and 1, which is one of our favorite scriptures to get into about when the Lord, who he's coming for to deal with.
Walipa precepts, yeah.
Yep. She is the only neighbor of Israelites who was not given any promise of mercy from God, Yahweh.
Get the word neighbor because you're going to understand the only neighbor. This is going into his bloodline as well. But he's singled out because that's how he was made. Get the word neighbor.
I'm ready with the word prominent. I find that.
Yeah.
Prominent means famous and important, man.
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Right? So this man is very important to the story.
Yes.
And he's famous.
Mhm.
You know,
He's
all
the
that
main
makes him
character. He's the main actor.
He's an antagonist.
God.
He's a
God.
supervillain.
God.
Yeah.
Supervillain.
Yeah.
You gotta have a very good supervillain to make a good movie.
Yep.
People are always looking to look at the protagonist. People love the villain, like Lex Luthor, those guys. That's this devil. He's an evil genius, man.
Yep.
All right.
Precept. This is.
Let him get the word neighbor
Okay,
in connection
go
with precept.
I got the etymology of the word.
Yeah, please.
One who lives near another, one who dwells nearby, to be, exist, grow. That's interesting. Border or be near to.
Hey man, there are two people. One shall be stronger, the other shall be weaker.
All right.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. No,
Yeah.
I just want to say that when you go back to the records of how that neighbor was, the Lord had to separate us
Yeah, yeah. There you go.
a good distance, right? He was in Seir. We had to put him in Seir, and then we had to go to the promised land. But anyway, the point is when we go into the scriptures real quick, it's talking about it's a family member.
Yeah.
That's what it's really going into.
Yeah.
Right? But he's going into
brother.
destruction. Go ahead, brother. Anyway.
John 8:44. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do.
That's the opposite cussing out the Israelites at the time. You know what I mean? Damn wicked bastards. The devil, man. You don't even need them. Like,
That's right. God. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there was no truth in him.
Mm-hmm.
When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own.
Yeah, that's that neighbor. Go ahead, brother. Esau, Edom.
For he is a liar and the father of it. That's right. That's right. I was bringing this out too as well to make a point on 2/3 of Israel, because Esau sold out, and you see 2/3 of Israel doing the same thing. The Most High, like 2/3 of Israel was very, very lucky for Yahushua, because they technically sold their birthright. And that's why the Most High is going to destroy them. They got to come back again.
That's why you said it says let Caesar be our king.
Yeah.
You know, you know, to those wicked ass niggas, the Jews back then.
It was like saying
They're
like,
the same
Biden,
people now.
that Biden be our president. It's the same thing. Nothing under the
Yeah.
sun.
Yeah.
Right? They don't go for Asian votes or Arab votes. Always go for the black votes, man. It's always who getting our people to vote for them, which is against our laws.
Close it on that.
I believe that these are the same people in church, in these churches.
Yeah.
You know, the whole ISU, all these wicked ass niggas who sold out, man, who made their covenant with Caesar, right? This is Second Ezra 6 verse 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times, and when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
Simply put, hey, that's powerful stuff, man. Right there, that just goes
That's
into
deep.
that neighbor. That neighbor, he became that neighbor, right? But it's telling you about our Esau Edom, which is Ishashua in the Hebrew, and that he still exists today. Okay, simply put,
The same man.
yeah, it's the same man.
The same man, and he's fallen, you know, and we're gonna be exalted. But even though we're low, we're being brought low. But Most High gonna make us, you know, that Most High gonna make us be on top,
Yeah.
and they're gonna be at the damn bottom.
There's a script and it tells you about the Most High can make a poor man rich and a rich man poor.
Yeah, that's right.
There's another scripture the Most High says about promotion don't come from the west, east, north, south. It comes from the Most High.
Even Job, you watch you read the first chapter, the last chapter of Job. That's the same thing, right? Like
Yeah, that wealth being transferred.
Yeah.
Good precept.
Yeah.
This is Second Ezra 6 and 8, or 6 and 27. For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched. As for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall be overcome, and the truth about everything, including Esau Edom, especially Esau Edom's wickedness, right? And the truth, which hath been long without fruit, shall be declared. And that's why, that's another sign of the times that we're close to the end. The Most High has prophets all over the world, pushing this truth, which is spiritually bringing down this kingdom.
That's right.
Because in war, you want to destroy from within, and that's how Esau is too.
Yeah, that's Trojan horse.
Yeah, Trojan horse. Yeah, they did that. Destroy from within. And that's how the Most High is doing it with us, man.
All warfare is based on deception.
That's right. That's right.
Sun Tzu, Art of War.
And that's why Yahushua, he says that we're fools for Yahushua's sake.
Exactly.
Because sometimes you got to play the fool to get ahead. And you have to deceive your enemies like you're insignificant. But really, the scripture says we are weak, but we are strong. Because we got this word and it breaks down strongholds. Jeremiah 28 and 8 says, what did the prophets are? The prophets are set up to prophesy against these kingdoms. And that's a part of it going down. So what we're doing is a strong thing.
That's right. The prophets was always here, from the beginning, right? This is Jeremiah 28 and 7. Nevertheless, hear thou now this word that I speak in thine ears and in the ears of all the people. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence.
Yeah, and that's the time that the Most High always brought out the prophets. In that time where you were getting close to war, or you were in the midst of war, pestilence, and evils. And so like the scriptures say, nothing's new under the sun.
It says, It says the prophet which prophesied of peace, when the word of that prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that the Lord hath truly sent him.
It should.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just a pen is good.
It says the prophet which prophesied of peace, when the word of that prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that the Lord have truly sent him. And like like only certain only like the apostles, great millstone, like they have the 100% truth. Week in, week out, and they're to warn the flock of what's going of the troubles and like calamity that's gonna come upon the land, right?
Yep.
Week in, week out, every day,
That's right.
making videos, prophesying,
This is Ecclesiastes 5:13. There is a sore evil which I have seen under the sun, namely riches kept for the owners thereof to their hurt, but those riches perish by evil travail, and he begetteth a son, and there is nothing in his hand. So in this kingdom, Esau, like when you work according to the scriptures, you're supposed to get paid that day. But what does Esau do? He keeps your payment back for 2 weeks. You get paid every 2 weeks, or you get paid every month.
They want to tax you every year.
You get taxed.
Yeah.
You work over. There's actually a certain amount of overtime you can only work before you're not making any more money. Because
it gets transferred over to next week or
exactly.
whatever. They do that shit.
Exactly.
And then it's all jacked up, man.
And the word evil means a bad time. So if you have your daily living being withheld, man, that causes problems, right? So you're having to adjust according to how Esau, is according to Esau's wickedness.
Yeah, because was it Habakkuk about the debt? So the debt's just fucking piling up, man.
Yeah.
There's the reason why that debt clock can't go back. It just keep on climbing,
rolling. Yeah.
Just fucking climbing, man.
Yeah.
Because look, you don't pay a man that same fucking day. A lot of problems could be solved within the fuck before the sun goes down.
Yeah.
Wells Fargo, that bank, they discontinued all lines of credit, and that destroyed people's credit. They had, I think, 87 billion in debt with that line of credit, so they cut it off. I said they're going to focus more on debit cards and credit cards, but these people, hundreds of these people, were just left with bad credit because Wells Fargo decided that they're going to discontinue the line of credit. And this is a major bank. This is a central bank. So if the banks are doing this, what's coming down the pipe with the economy, right? So it's a big crash.
No, it's like that's why they want to mark everybody, right? Yeah. Everybody that's lining up to go get the thing, right? Yeah. The little thing,
Yep.
Yeah.
That
thing, yeah.
The tattoo.
Yeah.
Tattoo.
Back that thing up and get
That's so funny.
But it shows you they had a false sense of faith the whole time, because when you look at the word credit, it just means, it goes back to the Latin word credo, which means belief. So like this devil, his whole system is being exposed to the belief that he had in this beast system.
Yeah.
So it's going to implode at some point.
Yeah.
And that cuts a lot of you people that try to say, let's go green, let's do this, let's do that, because you can't go green. Because if you were to go green, you would lose all the benefits that you have right now. Like what we're using cell phones. Do you realize the feed that we get, it comes from a server that's in a room, and it's powered by a grid, it's powered by energy, electricity. So even if you were to go back and try to save this place, you'd have to lose all the things that you've worked to get so far.
Yep.
Things are gonna become more nationalized or nationalistic. Everything's gonna become more local. Gender roles are gonna come back into play, which you women don't want to do, you men don't want to do. You men that work in these offices, you're gonna have to go out and plow the field. You women, you're gonna have to stay at home. So this place is done, man.
Yeah, you see what's going on in Cuba and South Africa, man. It's getting crazy.
And France,
It's getting real out here, man.
Got a precept. This is Ezekiel 7 and 17. Let me start at 16. It says, "But they that escape of them shall escape, and shall be on the mountains like doves of the valley of them mourning, of all of them mourning, every one for his iniquity. All hands shall be feeble, and all knees shall be weak as water. They shall go. They shall also gird themselves with sackcloth, and horror shall cover them."
That's gonna be really much in the man. Right? We don't 3-piece suit, designer suits, and like pushing Maybach and shit. But, yeah, he believes, man.
No yacht, no more yachts.
Not a
Stuff,
crap, man.
like me and my
Boats
brother, we
and
went for
hoes.
a big fucking
Boats and all.
thing by Ontario Place and shit,
Yeah,
man.
Esau's living it up.
Living the fat
Having
life.
having out calls.
In call, out call.
Yeah, and out calls calling these strippers, man.
Yeah.
On the boats, man.
Boats and
Yeah.
hoes, man.
Live it up, man.
They live it up.
Hey, Lynn,
No,
that's
no,
Esau. That's
all
what
that
he
shit.
does.
Yeah,
He really
you
does
guys
it.
live it up. Telling you.
Yeah.
And it says, verse 17. Verse 18. "And they shall also gird themselves with sackcloth, and horror shall cover them, and shame shall be upon all faces, and baldness upon all their heads."
It's gonna be mourning like us, man, because that's how we used to mourn. Whenever we were mourning, we put sackcloth on and pull our hair out. So that's gonna be passed on to you now, Esau.
Like it's all gonna look like a Nazarite, you know, like when you're, like when you have to make yourself bald and cut all your hair and shit. That's gonna be Esau, because Esau's gonna have to dig all those bodies. Man. So Esau's gonna be bald for a while.
No, man, that's right, man. Chemo patient.
Yeah.
Chemo.
Like the red man's gonna be, he's gonna be fucking fucked
Well, he's gonna
up.
have to shave his head and stuff because after
That's
from
right, well.
he's gonna feel it after he's gonna be crying and throwing dead bodies and.
When this son take your bald head, man. You know, when this son get your bald head, gonna fry egg in that shit, man. Egg in that bald head. He's like an element.
Well, Jake loves to. But back in your day, man used to crack heads, crack eggs on man's heads, man. So that's gonna be like a natural. I like the way you die, boy.
Let me continue this.
He's in the field, man.
I got another precept to add to it real quick. So verse 19, it says, I'll finish 18. "Horror shall cover them, and shame shall be upon all the faces, and baldness upon their head. They shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of wrath of the Lord Yahweh.
That's right.
They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, because it is the stumbling block of their iniquity."
That's right. In Job, it said about how the wicked shall cast the riches out of his belly, man.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to bomb out the riches.
Yeah. And we're coming to a time where people are literally gonna be burning cash, just to stay warm.
Yeah.
That's true. Hey, and you people, and for the people who try to go back and get that stumbling block, they're going to be destroyed.
Yeah.
Right? And we have that story for the Israelites with Lot. Right? Lot was a very rich man, but he was moving in the spirit. And when that time came for that place to be destroyed, Sodom and Gomorrah, and those other cities that's not mentioned.
3. Yeah.
Right? It tells you that he left everything, but his wife, right?
Yeah.
Because he was a rich man, went back. Hey, a lot of you women out there, you Israelite women, right? When that time comes, you're gonna try to go back and get your stuff. You're gonna be destroyed.
Yep.
That's right.
Viva
It is what it is,
Las Vegas.
right? And Esau, because they're following Esau. That's the point. They'll be destroyed and consumed. Go ahead, baby.
Proverbs 11 and 4, real quick. It says, "Riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivereth from death." The righteousness of the perfect shall direct his way, but the wicked shall fall by his own wickedness. So that's why I think John 8:22, it said, if he speaks of a lie, he speaks of his own. He's the father of it.
Mhm.
You know, so they're just like they put out all the wickedness that they put out. They're gonna die by that wickedness too.
That's right. What goes around comes around.
Yeah.
Full circle.
Well, Biz Markie's had a song about that. What
Con,
goes
is it-
around comes around.
Yeah.
Get the vapors, man.
Oh,
Biz
oh,
Markie.
love it.
CBM.
Yeah. Con.
Get your vape.
Yeah, now he's in the spirit, man. Like he was catching hell for a while, right? Because he was in the hospital and stuff. So
Yeah, for almost
Now
a
he's-
year. Next month it would have been a year. He's been in
Yeah.
bedridden for a long while.
yeah. So now he's in the spirit.
Verse 6, it says, the righteousness of the upright shall deliver them, but the transgressors shall be taken in their own naughtiness. You know, which really you two-thirds. That's you two-thirds. That's two-thirds of Israel, because you're disobeying the Most High by not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, right? It says, but not verse 7. When a wicked man dieth, his expectation shall perish, and the hope of the unjust and of unjust man perish.
That's right. So like, you know, Esau has these expectations. Well, we're gonna rule to this and that, and this is what we're gonna have. This plan, and like even yesterday with Trudeau putting out whatever dumb announcement talking about next year we're gonna have 100 and blah blah blah.
30 million shots, 36 million shots. Hey, and in 2014, 65 million. Add it up.
24.
224. Did I say 224?
Definitely 14.
I said 214. All right. Well, they were doing it from then, but that's a lot of
Yeah.
correction, brother. 2024, right? 65 million.
Yeah. So there you go. That's what I wanted to bring out. So there you have it.
66
You know, his expectation
million.
is gonna come to naught, man.
Yes.
You know, Brother Moss brought it out.
Yeah, their plan.
Yeah.
So this is Psalms chapter 49, verse 11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names.
That's right. They call them after their own names, and this is like people don't understand why they're changing the name of certain streets of slave owners. Right. So there you go. They change the landmarks. They put their name, and then they want to change it again.
They're
And
trying
it's
to
like
rewrite history now.
Yeah.
You can't, man.
trying to cover,
Fucked up.
trying to sweep that dirt under the rug. You know,
Let's take down these statues.
and rub that dirt off your shoulder.
Dirt off the shoulder.
Peel back his whole skin if he wants to rub the dirt off his shoulder.
Yeah.
Filthy.
Wow. No, but real quick, it's prophesied on it, Dundas, and now they're removing this demon, right? John Dundas or Peter Dundas was a big slave owner, right at that filthy corner where we prophesied. But the point is, right? You mentioned about stuff going down, right? Things are coming down. He's trying to sweep things under the rug. But I'll say this, right where we're standing, this is just my thing. I wonder how many Gadites are buried under these parks.
That's right.
And I'll tell you privately what I mean by that when I talk to you, because it was told to me years ago. I couldn't believe it, but how
That's
many
why
more?
even when we walk, every
Yeah,
time,
go ahead.
like where me, I go every time I go for a walk. Sometimes I might see this brother,
Mm.
and we look and there's a bunch of Gadites
Heritage
memorials.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right in Toronto Island and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
All deep for them.
Right? Every week something is coming up on that. That was the point I was making, right? More burial sites. But my mother used to say this to me in Jamaica when I was small. She said, you know, I thought she was crazy when I was young, but when I got older, I figured it out. She said, hey, listen, you see this Jamaica, this so-called Jamaica, it's a fucking burial ground. Well, I add the fucking to it. She said, it's a burial ground. Huh? What's she talking about? It's a burial ground. You think it's any different here? Right? With this you Edomites covering it up. Esau, you're covering it up, but the Lord is revealing it week by week.
That's why Esau
That's
will
my point.
these white so-called Caucasian people. They always say, that they always say, go back to Africa, right?
Yeah.
You know, but but it's like we're brought here, and then some of us are indigenous of this land, anyways.
That's right.
So you like you want to say, like go back to Africa. You
Yeah.
go back to where you come from, the
Right.
damn Caucasus Mountains, right?
That's right.
That's right.
You know,
Get your ass
like when
back
we
in the thing.
fucking kicked your ass
Yeah.
up in the mountains, man.
That's right.
Caucasus Mountain, man.
That's right.
For that 1,000 years, like until you got freed, right?
Yeah.
You got freed out of that prison.
Hey, it's war, baby. The war is on, and the writing's on the wall. But that's what's going. He was trying to kill us by asking us those questions. I'm going to kill you if you stay here. What you got, brother?
No, that was the one. That
Oh,
was the
okay.
one. Yeah.
Okay, I got something. This is Revelation chapter 18, verse 13. Actually, I'll start at 10. Standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. And I'm just going to jump down to the 13th
And
verse.
these people are using our Bible too. Like I was watching a thing on YouTube with these Christians, these so-called Christian, these white people, Christians, right?
Mhm.
Who want to use our Bible and make mockery. Like not even, just rant and talk shit.
Yeah.
Talk about nations, all nations being saved and shit, man. Like these people have a lot of things to pay for too, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
A lot of things.
Remember,
man.
there's no repentance from blaspheming scriptures, man.
Yes. Even with an
No.
insane madman.
It says it's like that's why it's Psalms. It says what have you to do with me to declare my statutes, right? I think Psalms 55, I believe. Yeah, that damn devils, man.
Verse 13, it says, And cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat and beasts and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves and the souls of men. So you have people, you have slaves over here who are buried. You have Gadites that were killed, and a lot of people over here have sold their soul.
Sex traffic, a lot of shit, man. Selling people like real slaves,
So
Because
that,
even right now, we're in slavery right now with
Yeah.
these contracts, right?
Human trafficking, man.
Yeah.
Right? That's what they're calling it now. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Apparently it's against the law. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
This
but
man
they're
profited
doing
off
it.
of it.
Yeah, but they're doing it.
so that's why this place has to be destroyed, because you had a lot of people here sell their own souls. You had a lot of slaves, a lot of blood, and that's what Numbers talks about, right? If you pollute the land, the person that polluted the land, their blood has to be shed, right? And that's why this place is going to get a mass destruction, because every state, every province that people dwelled in over here, especially in America, there's slavery, death, all this corruption has been going on for quite some time.
Yeah, you think about all the so-called, under the guise of democracy, how much war Esau's caused on these different lands. So Esau has to pay for blood he shed on those lands too. He's been all over the world.
He's in Australia doing the same thing. He's calling the indigenous people, they're black people. I was watching a thing yesterday on A&E, the Discovery Channel, and the so-called indigenous people there, the Japhetites, right? They look like Lebanese people because they mixed up. They have some dark ones like that, the one that didn't mix, but the ones that was talking about, what race is he? But he's so-called Australian, right? But Esau did the same thing to them as it to us. Went and killed the men, massacred them, right?
Yep.
This man the cancer of the earth.
A bloody man.
This is Jeremiah 49:7. Concerning Edom, thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perished from the prudent?
So amongst them Germans, so-called Germans, there's no wisdom. Is there any wisdom? No, they're they're done.
The Most High is flooding them with the big floods in Germany right
Exactly.
now. Fucking them
So
up.
that's the spirit. You just brought that up, man.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to always watch, man.
Yeah.
Always watch the news. Watch, a lot of shit going on out here. On the earth right now. The Most High is jacking up the earth right now. Just the beginning of sorrows.
We have heat waves. People are dying in BC there.
Yeah.
Right? They're saying some farmers said they can't raise their feed their cows because the hay's all dried up.
Yeah.
So the cows looking all skinny and shit.
Yeah.
California too.
Gone.
Heat waves and stuff.
Yeah, the Lord is visiting this place.
So they have all the signs to show we're in the end, man. So you gotta be a nincompoop to think that this is just by chance it's gonna blow over.
Yeah.
Because now you can sit in the patio and you can actually go inside the bar now. Order your chicken
Bullshit.
wings.
Chicken wings.
You know?
And that proves that this is spiritually Egypt. Because if you go back into the history of Egypt, they had the 7 years of drought
Mhm.
and the 7 years of famine that they were going to get. And then our forefather, he had the dream, Joseph, and he told them that. And then they allowed them to prepare.
Yes.
And you Americans, you think you could never go down, but Egypt went down. Egypt went through hardships. You're going to go through hardships too.
Yeah, regardless of how GMO crops. You just most has locusts to handle that.
Yep. Grasshoppers.
Yam that shit up.
A lot of
Right.
rats, a lot of rat infestation in Toronto and Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rat infestation in the judicial system of here in Toronto.
So it says concerning Edom, thus said the Lord Yahweh of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished? Flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of Dedan, for I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him.
So most is bringing it, man. Right now, it's via the floods, via the heat waves, right?
Mhm.
Like via the insurrection in different nations. Most is bringing it.
Yeah.
Future
And then
judgment.
there's been earthquakes in Yellowstone.
Gone.
From yesterday, I think they said that was like 162.
You don't want to say Tornado Alley.
But
Just a
there
couple
were
days ago.
small amounts.
Where is the roof?
Yeah. Tornado
Oh,
Alley.
no, yeah,
Right in
I
the
forgot about it. It
backyard.
was
Yeah,
yesterday,
it's
right?
buried.
Yeah, big tornado.
Yeah, very.
And then it happened, I think, 1985 in Barrie too.
Yeah.
The same type of shit.
It says, verse 8, flee ye, Jeremiah 49:8, flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of Dedan. I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him, the time that I will visit him. If grape gatherers came or come to thee, would they not leave some gleaming grapes? If thieves by night, they will destroy till they have had enough. But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself.
That's why everything's being exposed with the Roman Catholic Church, with their pedophilia rings and their pedo, all those things, like many different levels, man.
Yeah, anything he
Yeah,
comes out with,
Many
and
things.
he's saying it's this, but within a matter of minutes, somebody come out with something counteracting it.
Yeah.
Right, the skirt is being lifted up.
So the secret places is like even his occupations, man. Talking about he's a football coach, he's a girl guide or boy scout, leader. You know what I mean? Hiding behind that veil and as a good guy. When he's a pedophile, man.
Yeah.
Thief. And like they're into bestiality.
Everything, man.
They do all kind of nasty shit, man.
Yep.
When my brother posted the one with talking about how he loves the dog.
Yeah, everything.
Boy, he just sit there one day and the dog is looking like he has some needs and
the fish too. You're talking about sleeping with the fish and sleeping with nature. And like it's sleeping with all kind of animal, wickedness, man.
That's why Job said
Yeah, well, we know.
Yeah.
he will put them near the dogs.
Yeah, the stain of having them by the
I remember something deal with a snake.
Ah.
I just rotten a snake, man.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah,
that was madness.
Yeah, man.
Like, that was a viral. I seen that with my. I went to work and someone showed me that. I was like, "What the fuck you showing me?"
Yeah, you saw it's crazy, bro.
I'll throw my
This
phone
man
on
would
the
probably
bed.
even try to sex alligators.
Yo.
You have a precept?
Oh
I'll
man.
finish this last
Go
verse.
Wow.
It says, but I've made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not.
It won't be no more, man. It's gonna be vanished.
Even right now, the whole school system's like a joke. Like people wanna like certain people they want their kids to just they want these people to be homeschooled now. Yeah. Because this whole alphabet people shit, man.
Yeah.
And what they're pushing on the children.
Talking about their song. What was it that was posted last week? We want to something your kids.
Yeah,
What was
it again?
Yeah. We're after your kids.
Yeah.
Something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, the whole homo
Oh,
commercial.
Yeah.
We want your kids singing
Yeah.
it, chanting it.
And you could send your little boy or your little girl to school, and then the teacher's a transgender, and she's just busting it wide open in front of your kid.
Oh my
That's it.
gosh.
Do you really want to send your kid there?
That's it.
I don't blame these people for being upset though. I don't.
Of course.
But you deserve what you get because that's what you wanted.
Yeah.
That's what you wanted. It's too bad.
These people are lining up to go get the thing. You know, people are lining up all over the place. Yeah, man.
Well, that's what the monk said. He was said strong delusion, man. Right. So you got a strong delusion that like this thing is gonna make things better.
Ah,
You
man.
know what I mean, 'cause you wonder like how come? I just imagine you went deep sea diving, and you got your gear on everything and watching your timer, and someone swim past you, have nothing on, be like, hey man, that's enough for us to do it. So you can take it off. So it just shows that the mentality is it's someone walking past you have a mask on, is what you say, yo, it's good, take it off, man. You know, but it's strong delusion that they think, take it off, I'm gonna get this. It's ours.
Yeah, like you got that thing.
You start panicking right
I
there.
got it. I'm like, what?
You have
That's
a-
why I don't want
a
that
panic
thing,
attack.
you know? Yeah.
Strong delusions, man.
Yeah. I was a precept. Isaiah 34 and 20. Isaiah 34 verse 2. For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon their armies.
That's why it's worldwide, man. Not one country is not dealing with this so-called C19, man. COVID-19, right? A whole nation is feeling it. Now, Vietnam, I got a friend there. Not a friend, I got to deal with.
Yeah,
Acquaintance. Edomite, because I buy things. You know? And he's saying Vietnam is locked down, on strict lockdown right now, man. They can't leave this house. Right? Shut off businesses.
Vietnam.
Vietnam.
Wow.
So that place is gonna be crippled.
Gone.
Gonna be crippled.
We shut down all that.
Shut down. He basically made sugarcane juice machines, and I was thinking of him today because mine stopped working for a bit. I was asking him because oh, locked down. He showed me something was on his door in some Greek language. I go, that's in English. He goes, yeah, lock the place down strict. You can't leave your house.
No, that's gonna happen here.
Gone.
Yeah,
It says, for the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them. He hath delivered them to the slaughter. Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcass.
So who knows, man? What's in those jabs, man? Because most nations are taking it and it's like
No animals' DNA is in them.
gun, right? So you're gonna drop down, right? And it's rot, man. You know what I mean? It's like every nation has been forced to come into your house and they're saying, "Want to get this needle, this thing in your arm?" Like straight up, you know, put some needles in your arm.
Hey, put this light
That's all
bulb
they're
on it.
pushing. Anywhere you go, like, hey, you got that thing?
In your arm.
Put the light bulb on it.
Yeah.
Gun.
In Russia, they're going to their houses, they're breaking into houses and giving them the
Yeah,
jab.
man.
Like,
That
you
thing,
have
that
no-
thing.
You have no choice.
Yeah.
Man.
It's crazy, man. See, the Most High, like these are serious times because
Yeah.
you know the Most High is protecting the elect. 'Cause,
Yeah.
You know, and when things get worse, like what we're seeing is like the prelims before the finals.
Well, it's a thousand just fall your feet, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, so that you know, you're like, ooh, this guy got the thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, God.
The
And
thing's
it's
like,
all coming. It's all leading up to the WW3, man. The World War III, man.
Yep.
The World War, man. That's what it's all about. It says their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood, and all the
To the
hosts.
governments. Governments are abroad, man.
The mountains represent.
Fucking government.
And all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll.
So the armies talk about the hosts of heaven. So all these armies, all of them are gonna get jacked up, man. Yeah, you know it's gonna. That's why the nuke is gonna be
That nuclear cloud.
Yeah, it's gonna be
The
the
mushroom
stone
cloud.
that
but not
that
nuclear
finishes
or
off
whatever.
everything, man.
Dissolve.
But it said earlier that the stink shall come out of their body. So that's the only thing that can get rid of that stink, man, is fire. You gotta burn all that shit, man.
Yeah.
You know,
Purification.
we want to go take that, bury that, just burn it.
That's
You know?
before the mitzvah.
And you know that Benjamin loved burning fire, man.
Done.
Yeah.
They love
Pyromaniac,
burning
man.
the fire.
Yeah.
Well, they take after their daddy. And we was the biggest pyromaniac. How about you, man? Shine, man.
That's right.
Love burning things. Fire.
King of terror.
Yeah, remember the angels? They're like, you know that
Ministers
they're
of fire.
because it's like the angels are ministers of fire, man.
It's
Yeah.
true.
Of pure fire.
Sam and Gomorrah, you know, the most light than a fire, man.
Yeah, and the angels are ministers of fire. That they love fire.
Yeah.
The Most High love fire.
God.
Yahweh Shai love fire, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
Synergy.
Yeah.
Cleansing agent.
And all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll,
Oh,
and all their hosts shall fall down, as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven.
Ooh.
Behold, it shall come upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse
Same
to
Idumea.
judgment.
Who's Idumea? You know who Idumea is? Do you know who Idumea is?
It's Esau, Edom.
Esau Edom.
That's
right.
Greek way of saying Edom.
Behold, Isaiah 34 verse 5.
Don't let it pass by you if you don't know, if you don't understand what it's saying.
Just write the precepts down, put it on your phone or write it down. For
Yeah.
my sword shall be bathed in heaven, and behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment.
So he says his sword is going to be bathed in heaven. When you read Joel 2, and it talks about the fire going up on the walls and everything,
Oh,
it's
I'll bring
going
it
to
up.
devour
I
everything.
still have more.
Right? It's going to bathe the place, man.
Yeah, that's a little bit.
Says the sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with the fatness, and the blood of lambs and goats, with the fatness of kidneys of rams. For the Lord have a sacrifice in Basra,
So you
and
notice that they said lamb and goats. So that means the 2/3 because we're the lost sheep, right? So the wicked ones, everybody, man, towards indignation, righteous anger, man.
is that the Lord cooking up a nice pot,
Yeah, man.
big pot.
Done.
Yeah.
You've never seen a slaughterhouse with goats and lambs. Just
Oh.
hey, Google it. It'll blow your mind.
Remember, I worked
the
at
work of the-
at like one of those
Slaughterhouse?
places. I remember I worked at a place, and all we had was lambs and goats
Mhm.
and veal or cows.
Yeah.
You know, halal, soca halal, right?
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
screaming that the
Praises.
goats
It's
Yeah.
two different
and the lambs
spirits.
do
Yeah.
blow you away, bro.
Yeah.
That's anyway.
Yeah.
We're just going into that.
Says
Go ahead, brother.
the sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with the fatness, and the blood of the lambs and goats,
Right.
with the fatness of kidneys of rams. For the Lord hath a sacrifice in Basra,
Oh,
and a great
You
slaughter
guys know what
in
it's
the
talking about? It says Bozrah? Slakia.
And it was President Buzzra is a
It's a
anywhere they
buzzword.
live, man. America.
Yeah.
Europe.
daughter of
That's true
Babylon.
too, though.
and then we have to go into those, it's like the maps too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like
But it-
different like biblical maps, and yeah.
Salaki, but it said it was a sacrifice, and we know that the Lord, he's a priest. So this place is really likened onto a whole sacrifice. So it's prepped. And what you saw when it said the kidneys of rams, when it said goats, those are all sacrificial props that are used. So it just shows you that the Lord, he's a high priest. When you read the scriptures and you look at the words, it's very detailed. You know, Lord is very meticulous.
Yeah.
It's very beautiful.
And
when
it's
you read it.
simple, but it's like poetic.
Yeah.
The poetic poetry, you know.
Yeah.
The sword of the Lord is filled with the blood, and it is made fat with the fatness, with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fatness of kidneys of rams. And the Lord hath a sacrifice in Basra, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. And the unicorn shall come down with them, and the bullocks with the bulls, and their land shall be soaked with blood, and their dust and their dust made fat with the fatness. For it is the year of the Lord's, Yahweh and Yahweh Shai's vengeance.
Oh, what did they have? What did Pulse the Heart dub this year? Right? Hastening.
Hastening.
Anything like it's coming.
Yeah.
You have a preset?
Yeah, so
Okay.
it says, for it is the day of the Lord, Yahweh and Yahweh Shai's vengeance, and the year of recompense for the controversy of Zion.
Oh,
Recompense means payback, man.
King of terrors.
No reparation.
Coming
We
with
don't want
terror.
a reparation. And then brother, somebody want to do 2 or whatever, or 3, and go into the other 2.
Yeah. It says, and the streams thereof shall be turned into pitch, and the dust thereof into brimstone.
So the waters, like Ontario, these places, they're gonna be fuel for the fire. It's gonna be no longer a piece of water. It's gonna be a lake of fire.
Lake,
right?
yeah.
Lakes and bodies of water on fire, right?
That's right. It says, and the streams thereof shall be turned into pitch, and the dust thereof into brimstone, and the land thereof shall become burning pitch. It shall not be quenched night nor day.
Yes.
The smoke thereof shall go up forever, from generation to generation.
Like I can also remember that this is talking about Babylon, which is mainly the mainland, America. Yeah. Right. So it's not really dealing with Canada as much as it's dealing with.
The chariots will take care of it.
But even though we're very close, you know, so certain parts are going to get fucked up, but certain parts of Canada is going to be fine. But certain parts is going to be
that Niagara Falls won't exist.
But the main part is Babylon the Great, America.
Yes.
Yeah.
The chariots will take care.
And the Lord's going to send. The Lord's going to have the nuclear missiles, and the Lord's going to use His angels, you know, to bring the judgment, man.
That's right.
You know, so it's going to be a lake of fire out here. It says, it shall not be quenched night nor day. The smoke thereof shall go up forever, from generation to generation. It shall lie waste. None shall pass through it forever and ever. But the cormorant, and the bittern,
just unclean birds, man. Yeah, right.
Feasting.
You know.
Yeah.
And doing what they do.
Fowl shall be filled with their flesh.
Shall possess it. The owl, also the raven, shall dwell in it, and he shall stretch out upon it the line of confusion.
I got a question for you, brothers. So, what time frame is this talking about? Yeah, it is after destruction, but like in where? The kingdom. So in the kingdom, you're right, basically right. But what I'm looking for in the kingdom, America is gonna be like a desert, and we're not gonna be in there because of all the wild beasts and animals that are living in there. So this is after the destruction, after the nukes and everything.
Even when the elect get saved, and they like whoever the brothers are gonna be, whoever the elect is, you know, like they're gonna be flying over certain of those cities and look over New York, but you're not gonna see no damn New York.
You're not gonna know from New York to Atlanta to wherever.
Yeah,
maybe able to, look, okay, that might have been there, but it's gonna be like, you're not gonna know where the starting point from the end point. It's just gonna be like it was somewhere around there, and God riddance. That's it.
Good riddance.
Yeah.
That's why it goes into. It says it's gonna be a monument to remind what happened.
That's right.
Yeah, that was a wicked place.
That's right. That's right.
Because when you look at Sodom and Gomorrah, you don't know where Sodom and Gomorrah is. You just know it's right there, and this beauty. That's it.
Like that's why they call it the Salt Sea too.
Yeah.
Because certain parts of that shit got.
Yeah, it got leveled.
Yeah.
It got leveled, and now those people's bodies, brought in the their body and the elements and everything mixed in with the water. That's why everything just floats on the top of that water. You can't find those other 3 cities amongst that land, right?
That's right.
That's a piece of Isaiah 63. Who is it that cometh from Edom with dark garments from Basra? This is that glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength.
Break it down.
It's Yahweh pretty much coming with revenge, and killing everyone.
Yeah.
Killing
Esau.
ants and stepping on heads.
Edom is Esau.
Yeah.
The red dirt.
That speaking
The
righteousness,
red dirt.
mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat.
Right.
So you know his apparel is not gonna be literally red. So you won't be doing nothing. It's just like allegorical.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's gonna be a bloody scene.
Slaughter, man.
Yeah.
His sword's gonna be
The Lord's coming with
to
some
give you,
red wine too.
Just to give you an
Red
illustration.
Oh yeah, don't forget the wine.
so
The
you
red
can, like,
wine.
see it.
I'm getting busy.
Go ahead.
I'm getting busy.
I've trodden in the winepress of low, and of the people there was none with me. For I would tread them in my anger, and trample them in my fury.
So none of these Edomites with the Lord, man. I mean, they pretend that, oh, praise God, and the big mega churches talk about they love Jesus and all this stuff. We'll say ain't down with them, man.
They never bring a piece of the scriptures.
That's right. That's right.
And their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain them, and I will stain all my raiment.
Can you imagine seeing a pastor read this in the congregation and then looking at all those people's faces? What is he talking?
Is that in the Bible?
Blood? Gosh, what?
But they don't want to even fuck with the scriptures, man.
Yeah.
Hey, man,
Like they
that's bad
dance
business.
around the scripture. They dance around it and sing songs.
No, that's the Old Testament God. He's not like that anymore. He's forgiven now.
Yeah.
It's bad business if they read that.
Yeah.
Isaiah 63:4. For the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of redeeming is come.
That's right. This in Peter's it says 1 day to the Lord is 1,000 years to us. So the Most High, this literally happened to Yahweh Shai, his crucifixion, like 2.5 days ago.
Yep.
So he's sitting there, angry.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
Psalms 7 and 10, I believe it is.
And he's just fuming. So he's meditating terror.
And Yahweh just Yahweh knows the time. So just like the Most High is waiting for the green light.
Yeah.
That day, that time, that hour.
Exactly.
The Most High knows. No, but it's like we don't know. Like
Yeah.
that not even the angels nor Yahweh Shai knows. Only Yahweh.
So he said, though it's tarry. So though it's taking long,
Yeah.
wait for it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Suffer.
God.
Patience.
Yeah. Yeah. We have to bear that indignation.
Well,
That
my
thing is-
mistake, it was 10 and
Yeah.
7, what I was mentioning.
You gotta bring it up.
No, select it. Look for it again.
But on top of that, he was crucified a second time too. So he had the
Yeah.
first crucifixion, and they crucified him again. So it just adds more to the anger.
Yep.
Yeah, it says it there, man. Vengeance is in his heart.
Yeah.
You looking to kill? Oh, hey, I can't explain it. It's crazy. Just think about it, right? What comes to my mind as these scriptures are being read is, behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye that see him, and there also that pierced him. He's gonna fuck up your shit.
He's coming as a super force.
Starting with you, Esau, Edom, and you wicked 2/3, man.
Good
And you vocab Malone, you better pray that you're an Israelite, because you're gonna get fucked up.
You
Right?
better hope you're Sicilian.
Yeah,
man.
and you better pray that
So-called.
you're not one of those
So-called.
guys that pierced him in his side,
We're
because he's
praying
gonna
to
fuck up
Timonite.
your shit.
Yeah, this is the Teamonite.
Yeah.
Praying for that.
Okay.
Yeah. That's-
He prays for
Well,
it.
you
Yeah,
want
I
that
hope
to
you
see
do
what
it.
Teamonite?
Woke up Teamonite.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because he says the king of terrors is concentrating to kill you. Hey, that's a come on,
Yeah,
man.
man. Yeah, man.
Serious stuff.
Hey, just think about yourself. If someone try to force you to drink vinegar or piss, and you sitting like, what are you gonna be thinking after this person leaves? The way you're gonna demolish them.
Yeah.
Anger you're gonna feel, and just be your own people. These are people that are of your own stock, people you're here to save. On top of that, so you can only imagine that.
Right.
But I think that's time though. Unless the brothers have one more precept.
I was going to read a quick scripture in Luke 12, if I can get it out, or you just read that. This is Yahushai's word, right? And it's funny, you just said that, but he was speaking to qualify. He was speaking to the Pharisees by way of by educating the disciples. Luke 12 and 2. Let me just read verse 1 as well. It says, in the meantime, when they were gathered together in a multitude of people insomuch that they trod one upon another. He began to say unto his disciples, first of all, be ye aware of the leaven of the Pharisees, which is hypocrisy, right? As you were mentioning that, or people, right? And then here's the point, verse 2, it says, for there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed. Okay? Neither hid that shall not be known. Hey, that's from the king of terrors. That's his own words, right? And he was showing his disciples, and they prophesied to this day, okay, starting with the revelation of who Esau is, that we talked about today. Esau, Edom, Joshua, he exists, and he's a so-called white man that reflects these people here, these elites, these wicked neighbors, and they have to do their shit. But he's meditating on terror to come and take back what it is. But this is just simply showing you that everything is being revealed. That's what's going on here, man. Okay, so anyway, that's the point on that I wanted to just mention. What you got? Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, okay, Con. So with that, we're gonna close. And we're gonna give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem, Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of great millstone. Salutations to the elect, pushing this word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. Peace and mercy to the sincere Aqua that may listen. Above the ball. Shalom.
Shalom.
Zoom.